Before I start, if you hear any weird noises, it's just Phoenix right next to me. She's being very vocal now and she doesn't stop. She likes to laugh a lot. Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about my crazy, mental, horrible neighbours. I live across the road from some units, like public housing and stuff. And the people that live there, like we've been living in this house for 15 years I think, or probably more than that. And the people that have lived across the road during that time, they have never really bothered us. Like they give us some entertainment every time we hear a fight or whatever. But recently some new people have moved in and I no longer feel safe living here with like, having Phoenix here as well. Most of the time I don't feel safe because of these people that have moved in, and I'm going to tell you why. So a few months ago, 3 boys, I think they were teenagers, they moved in. Within the first week we saw that our fence had been spray painted and we had a suspicion that it was these new guys. You right, Phoenix? And we would see those tags everywhere. And then one day Mum was like reversing out of the driveway and then she saw these guys in their backyard, because you could easily see into the backyard. She could see them spray painting their shed and the fence and the side of the house and everything. So Mum could tell that it was the exact same tag as what was on our fence. So Mum rolls down a window and asks them if they did the spray painting on our fence, and they straight away said no, it wasn't us. But then Mum could see them doing the exact same tag on their property. So that was the first thing. They're quite stupid. Since then we've heard a lot of stories about those 3 guys stealing things from the supermarket and things like that. They weren't very good kids. So for a while it's just those 3 guys. Apparently they moved in because the guy they moved in with gives them free drugs, so that explains it. They didn't like do anything to us. They didn't come up to us and bother us or anything. But one morning about 5 AM I was up feeding Phoenix and I heard this little bang, and then 2 seconds later I heard an explosion, like a literal explosion. And I freaked out. I ran to Mum's room. I went to wake her up, but she was already awake from that massive noise. Then I went to my room to wake up Alex, and he was up as well. So we all went outside. We did not see anything or anybody. The streets were dead and everything. And then they go to bed. 5 minutes later, there's fire trucks and cops all through the street. They were there for about half an hour and we stood outside for a bit to see what was going on. I went inside for a while to be with Phoenix, and then Mum and Alex come back inside saying someone has blown up the mailbox. Mum looks at our cameras and she went back to the time and you could see a couple of guys throwing a bomb in the mailbox, and then they waited there for like 7 minutes for it to go off. And then you could just see this big explosion. So obviously those people had something against one of the guys living across the road. Now they have to deal with having a blown up mailbox. They had that there for about a month maybe, and they only just got new ones. So we're waiting for those ones to be blown up too, because they probably will. And then things started getting worse maybe. I don't know if anything's worse than blowing up a mailbox, but some new people moved in. It was a girl and a guy. They obviously have a lot of friends who like cars and they like showing off in their cars, and they enjoy doing lots of burnouts and skids. We've heard them doing burnouts down their little street. they're about to cross the intersection and they're skidding off about, like, I saw a guy skid off into traffic, like incoming traffic. So that's been going on nearly every single day. I hear them doing the burnouts and the skids nearly every day. There's cars there all the time. They always park, like, I don't know how to explain it. Here's the street. Here's like the end of their house. And then here is the end of my driveway. They always park here, and then when I'm reversing out of the driveway, I have to be careful and not hit them. If you have common sense, you know not to do that. Like, that's not what you're supposed, that's not where you're supposed to park. So there's that. And then another thing also relating to a fire. One night we're all sitting in the lounge room and I said to Mum, can you smell that? It smelled like if you have an iron on and you leave it on something and it starts burning. It smelled like that, which is a weird smell to know, I don't know. I opened the front door and I could like really smell something burning, and Mum went out the back door and then went out the gate and she could see smoke coming from the unit. So she told me to call the fire department, so I did, and there ended up being 2 fire trucks come. Turns out there was a bin on fire. There's a row of shops just across the road from me and like right next to these units. So someone thought it was a good idea to light the bin on fire over there. And we're thinking it's those 3 guys that I mentioned earlier. Like, why would you set a bin on fire? What good does that do to people? It just smells horrible. Another thing with those guys, in their little unit, there has been smashed windows. They smash their windows a lot, like quite a lot. There has been probably 3 or 4 times a guy repairing their window has come around in like 2 months. And one last thing, about 2 weeks ago, Mum told me that she thinks she witnessed a drug deal. She was looking out the window and there was this woman who looked like a young girl. Like, there's a school right next to the units for some stupid reason. So there was a girl or a woman, I don't know. She went into the school over the fence, and behind a tree she picked up something, and there was someone else like watching her, I think, and she held up whatever she had, like a bag of something, and was waving it around, acting all happy and all that. And then she comes back over, and a bit later this convertible comes down the street to pick them up, like a really expensive convertible. And then they all meet up together, and then they go inside and grab a bag, and then they start, like, it was an empty bag, and then they start filling up the bag with something from inside the convertible. And then about a minute later they bring the bag back inside, which was full. So yeah, Mum reckons she just witnessed a drug deal. Like, if you live in those units, I'm assuming you cannot afford a convertible, like, as looking as expensive as that one was. So they probably used all their drug money to buy it. And that is all that has happened so far. I'm expecting more things to happen. I'm expecting worse things to happen. As I said at the start, I don't really feel safe living here anymore, and we've lived here a very long time, since I was 2 maybe, and I'm 19 this year, and our family is like, I don't know how to say it in a good way, we're normal. We're a normal family, we're happy, we all love each other. Like, we don't fight every day, we don't do drugs, we are like fully against drugs. We don't get drunk every day. I mean, look around, like, look behind there. I have a baby. Am I gonna, like, I don't reckon I would want a bad life. I don't want to raise Phoenix like that. So yeah, that is all, and I really hope nothing else happens. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you also have crazy neighbors, make sure to leave a comment, and I would love to hear your stories. And subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And until next time, goodbye.